Hi everyone, welcome to Good Bad Daily. I'm Chris King.
I'm Alexander Wood.
Today we're having a deep dive on The Witcher 3. Why we are skipping The Witcher 3.
Are we skipping The Witcher 3?
Yeah, unfortunately for now, yeah.
And should you skip Witcher 3?
Yeah. So that's the question. That's a better question. Should we skip Witcher 3?
Yeah. So Witcher 3 we saw from the beginning. It looked pretty. Okay, the trailers were cool. Pretty excited about it. Whoever knows about the lore, you know that it's deep lore. It's really interesting. My biggest thing was character design. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So, your thoughts on Witcher 3?
So,
Sounds so sad. This is such a sad
It
video.
is. It's a sad one with the skip because we were actually going to do one for Mortal Kombat X, and we didn't actually end up filming that one, but we skipped Mortal Kombat X, and that actually was on our lineup at first. I'll say this, like for Mortal Kombat X, just quickly, was my biggest thing was just that I appreciate the first 3 Mortal Kombats, and that's it. Mm-hmm. After those, I feel like you should never play that game again. Same with Street Fighter. I don't want to really play the next Street Fighter because I liked how they were presented in that first form, and I actually would be fine if they just kept doing the exact same art style, just clean it up every single console generation, but I want it to be that exact form. Witcher, however, is getting better and better as, there's the third one now, right? I've never played any of the Witcher games. They were exclusive to Xbox and PC, I believe, before. So I was not familiar, and I was really excited to finally get one on the PS4. I've always wanted to play this game because pretty much it's like Skyrim from third person, essentially. But it has much more of a character kind of driven story. So anyway, so I got The Witcher 3 on, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Released Tuesday, got like Wednesday or Thursday. I got into about 2 hours of it. And I was debating with myself, but I had to come to the conclusion that I was like, it's just not for me. And again, the biggest reason here is actually why, because I think it's not suited well for either of these consoles. I think it's actually suited for PC. CD Projekt Red is a very big, they're a very big PC forward kind of dev. They come out and they talk about the PC version a lot. They promote the PC version. A lot of these other companies, it's consoles. They never really, like when you see Battlefield at E3, they're not playing it on PC. They actually want to show you on a PS4 or Xbox when they're presenting them. But The Witcher, a lot of times they actually will promote it on a PC. Mm-hmm. And that's because they really are, that transition from developing it on PC to playing it on PC is what CD Projekt Red likes to do. Yeah. So, now what I mean by this kind of console experience, well, you played Deus Ex Human Revolution, just like I did, right? My biggest problem with Witcher was the user interface.
Yep, that was a lot. It's huge. It's huge. And
it's just really big, really cumbersome, and it's not hard to grasp at all. Like I actually figured out, quite quickly. But here's the problem, and this is what I'm talking about. In the same thing with Human Revolution, okay? That kind of user interface of, I think, like Resident Evil 4, where you have like herbs.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it was 4 or if it was one of them, but instead of the herbs taking up like 1 square, they take up like 3 squares because they're kind of
it was 2. I think it was 2.
Yeah. And there's like the bullets take up like 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's that 2 as well. If I remember, just sideways.
Yeah.
I just remember.
But it looks like a graph, right? Yeah. And it was just kind of weird because different items took up different spaces. It's kind of like what The Witcher 3 looks like, right?
Shotgun.
Yeah. So it's not a bad thing. It's just weird. I hate how that looks always, but it's just weird. So The Witcher is very much like that, right? So if I want to equip this sword to my character, you have 2 screens now showing up. You have this one with the items, and you have this one with your actual character and like where the sword goes, right? So usually that's okay. But the problem is that when I would click, equipping this sword to my guy, it would equip and it would exchange the other sword and put in that place.
Yeah.
If I want to go back and check the stats of this one, I have to take it off and then compare them both and keep switching like this.
Yeah.
That's not something it's not console friendly because it's a lot of, and the reason why I mention these squares is because you have to go each one. Click, 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 with the console. Click, 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 click. And you have to move like 5 squares just to get to the sword.
Yeah, and with a mouse you can ready.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of the biggest thing. It's not console friendly. Whereas, again, it's made for mouse where, because they're developing this on a PC and they're playing it on PCs. Yep. So to them, this is not a problem. They go really quickly, right? The PC is a faster experience in that kind of sense. But I think menus like that should be much more compact and much more not simple. It's just that there should be an easier form. The easiest way to solve this problem: make this page L2, this one R2.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to go to check this sword, okay, I'm on this sword, R2, boom, L2, boom. Very simple way to fix that problem, right? It's not much complicated. It's not much more complicated. It's not simple. I kept pressing the triggers hoping that it would do something like that, and it doesn't. So I'm just gonna leave it at that point.
Funny how you talk about the technical aspects.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the reason why I say stuff is because again we're very mature gamers. We've been playing since the beginning of console experiences and PC experiences, pretty much. So everything pretty much after Atari is pretty much what we played, and we played all the Atari stuff too. But I don't consider those video games. Those are much more like arcade cabinets and stuff, in their best forms. But I'm talking about from PC and on, we played every single game pretty much. Since the original Doom, which we're going to talk about later, and what have you. First Final Fantasy, we played it all.
Yep.
So we know how the PC works, and we know how these games work. We played MMOs, we played it all. So that's what I'm saying. The biggest problem for me was the technical aspect of it, specifically the UI. And again, I'm leaving it at that point because it gets even more complicated from there. But just starting off with that simple aspect of trying to switch my sword and compare them both, because I'm an RPG guy, I want the best sword. That's a problem. It's a problem for me because this game is supposed to be 200 hours.
Yeah.
And again,
most of my hours is equipped in.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't have time to waste like that. I have a family to take care of. I'm in school. I'm in work. You are as well. You school, work, and you have Neo Noir on the side and stuff. I have GBD on the side, so I want to. It's not that I can't invest in an RPG like this because I really wanted to. Because I was like, I have exactly 1 month. It came on the 23rd, and I have 1 month to beat this game and get to Batman. And I was like, this is just going to take too much time. And it's not just the UI, right? It gets more and more from there, which we'll get into. But just from my description of UI, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
Which is the same as Deus Ex, right?
Yeah, it's just exactly the same thing. And I remember I did have a problem with Deus Ex because of that. And I did even say that. It's like, didn't they make this game for PC? Because it seems very PC.
The original one was just PC.
Yeah, and then you go back to a lot of other games, like if you go to Mortal Kombat and stuff, like you could tell these are for systems, but it's just something that reminded me of it when you switch styles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot why I even went here, but it seemed like that, but just more annoying. I don't know, there's something about it. They fixed that problem in Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah.
Like, you start off with it. So in this one, it's just, you need an easier way to find out what is the best. Like, I don't want to go down a list and state which is the best sword. And then I check the list and I'm like, okay, I could throw away this one, sell this one.
Yeah, sure.
And then move on. Because a lot of them, they have different stats. So even then, it's not necessarily just because this one will last you longer, it's going to be stronger and, more defense, so on and so forth. It's just, I do get it because it's really annoying. Because especially since you have an inventory. So because you have this inventory, it's limited inventory.
Yeah.
That you actually care about these things. And again, the comparison stuff with everything. It's just really annoying, and it is just taking up a lot of time. Like, I don't want to spend most of my time, like in Final Fantasy X, playing with the grid. Like, I want to spend most of the time playing the game. So I get it. These little technical
stuff. That's a good point. The spear grid, although I love that system, is very annoying to go through. Because I'm like, okay, I see that spear right there, and I want to look at it. And I have to bring my controller there and I have to click. I can't just smooth it over. Like, I have to click. And it's like, again, these people are creating, although I like that game on consoles, but you can tell when a developer is developing this game on computer and they're playing it on a computer. Because they are not experiencing what we have to experience with controllers. And again, I know the whole PC master race versus console stuff.
Giant debate.
This is what's going to end this debate right here. It's just that certain games are suited for PC, and certain games can be played on consoles or PC, right? Certain games are made for handheld. Certain games are not made for handheld, right? So all I'm saying is that a lot of these kind of games, you really have to pay attention to. For instance, again, like what my point with Mortal Kombat was, is that a game you want to play on a controller or a PC, a keyboard, or is it a game you want a fight stick for?
Yeah.
You need a fight stick.
Yep.
Right. That's my point with that. So my other problem with Witcher 3.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you move on,
sure.
Like, still the same thing with this. It's just like some games are suited for PC, some games are suited for consoles. Some of them actually do mesh well both.
Yeah.
So there is this game, hopefully you guys have played it, called Limbo. Limbo was awesome on a console. Like it was a kind of it's a side scroller, so it is very Mario-like and stuff. But I remember that it came out for mobile, and because I love this game, and I don't have any games on my phone because I just use my phone because I need to use it rather than killing time or whatever. But I ended up getting it. I'm like, I love Limbo, so let me just get it. So I got it on my phone, and I hated Limbo on my phone.
Right.
It's just because it's a touchscreen. You know, it's just like moving with that stuff. It gets in the way.
Yeah.
So it's just some games are just like that shouldn't come out of mobile. That shouldn't have been made in mobile. So it's just some games that exist in this platform and it's actually made for this platform. You could tell when it's not.
Yeah.
So like this one, I guess they couldn't tell up until they actually started playing with it. It seems that they didn't even play it on their mobile phone.
Precisely. Yeah.
And you could tell because then they will know that it doesn't work.
Yeah, because admittedly, again, I'm a console gamer right now. I used to be a PC gamer, right? I played RuneScape,
hardcore games, Tetris,
RuneScape, MapleStory, Doom, Deus Ex, all these games I used to play it on PC. You know, I always had my consoles. I've always loved consoles, but I used to have a PC that was just for gaming, not just MMOs. You know, whatever other games that we had before, right? We would play them on PC, but you know, now I just have come accustomed to console gamers. I am a console gamer. I'm not a PC gamer. I would love to have a PC gaming rig, but I just don't have the money, nor do I really want to or need to invest in like that. When I'm content with these consoles, right? So now there's two last points that I wanted to get to, right? So the second one was the frame rate. The frame rate, and actually more than just frame rate, it had to do with the whole mechanics of the game. Okay, when you have a horse in a game, and you're standing behind it, and it says mount, press X. I would press X, nothing happens.
Yep.
One of my biggest pet peeves in gaming. I don't want the guy to have to jump over his back, although I can't remember which game it actually does that. I don't think it's Zelda. But if you stand behind the horse, he'll actually jump from it from behind.
Yeah.
Like he should. It's a different kind of jump. Or if he's on the side, he'll actually climb over. I can't remember which game it is, but you can. So for this game,
Assassin's Creed?
It's probably Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed.
So you can press X from any angle, and he'll pretty much get on it, right? I'm not saying that he has to just kind of pop onto the saddle, but he can walk around. I'm okay waiting for him to walk around. Okay, it's very, very technical.
Yeah.
This is one of my big pet peeves though. You're standing behind the horse, it says X to mount, it's actually showing the icon. You press X and nothing's happening.
Yep.
What happens? You have to walk around to the side, you have to face the horse, you have to press X, and then he'll get on. Very technical, but it drives me insane. I'm not sure if that's an effect of it being on console. I'm gonna assume that maybe on PC that works a little bit better. I'm not really sure if it's smooth or not.
Yeah, probably it says like probably click to mount.
Yeah.
It's probably like you click
He'll
on the side and then he'll do it.
He'll go around. Then that's what I'm saying. Again, it's very small details, but that's what remember, we're reviewing these games. So we go detail by detail. The details you guys don't see, we see them. Not because we know more than you, but because this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that Witcher 3, again, it's not a bad game on any scale, but it felt more suited to PC. Okay?
Professional nitpickers.
Yeah. So another thing was with the combat as well, the frame rate was so buggy. It was insane. Like it was going up and it was going down. It was going up and down. You cannot fight like that. It's just, it drives me insane. I was trying to fight wolves, okay? And again, maybe this because I was fighting on the hardest difficulty, but they were killing me because I was trying to both hit and then block and hit and block and doing this very fast movements that I'm capable of, but the machine is not capable of keeping up with me. So again, I'm gonna assume that that's a fault of it being on consoles. You know, I don't have time to play, guessing with the PS4. And I'm running on PS4, which is better than on the Xbox One. The Xbox One runs at I think like 900 or something, which is totally fine. Okay, but again, let's assume the PS4 one works better, which it doesn't. But let's assume it still was not working for me. And in a game where combat is so heavy, I was tempted to go and play it on easy, just so I can get around this whole buggy thing. And I was like, that's not okay.
It's not cool. Yeah.
I want to play it on the hardest difficulty, and it should work smoothly. But don't kill me because it's not my skill. It's because there's a lag in the game. It's the same problem I have with Bloodborne. And I platinumed that game. So I can't say that it wasn't. It was really hard, but obviously I know how to play it, right? So I platinumed that game. But the frame rate was dropping all the time, and it was crazy. And sometimes I would get killed because it wasn't my fault. Because like I thought I hit, and apparently I didn't hit. He hit me first. So again, I'm gonna assume that it would run better on the PC, although I don't think it would. But I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that it would, because people claim the PC is so much better. So that's what I'm saying again. It points to this game should be running on a PC rather than these consoles.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to like stay away from a place where there's too many trees or too much water going around, because the system has to focus on these things as well as their action moving AI. It's annoying. It's annoying. I don't want to like encounter wolves and then run a bit this way because there's less things going on because the machine can't handle it. It's just that really sucks. That really sucks that it's such a thing. It's like I know that the engine can carry this, but I'm still gonna make it anyways just because I know it'll look cool. It sucks because when you're actually playing it, and again, now this is us just being mean to developers, I guess. It's just like they should play this game over and over again. They should know what they're doing, because you just know. Okay, they won't be playing on this console. I mean, they won't be playing on the PC. So let me check it on this and this as well. Let me check it on the Xbox One. Okay, let's click on the computer. If you're still using a computer, let's click on Xbox mode. And then they actually picked up an Xbox One controller and then play it that way. And it's like, okay, this is annoying. Or whatever. Like, people should actually retest these things while I guess they're creating it, so go back and forth. I really don't know how their development style works, but I think it's a very important thing. It's just
yeah, it was a little annoying. And then my final point was so talk about the graphics, talk about the UI. Oh yes, was the whole trailers and everything like that. So I watched comparison videos. I really don't know why, but I do, because I guess we review them and stuff. But it's so I can know for this kind of stuff, right? In the in the very early like E3 trailers that they showed us like in 2012 or something like that, there was actually like some footage where he was walking to like a motel, and there was like these really high stacks of grass and everything like that, right? And now, even on this PC version, on the final PC version, the grass isn't there. So I wanted to address this because people are saying like, oh, it's because the consoles are holding them back and stuff. Let me prove to you why that's not the case, okay? In Watch Dogs, there was a lot of shots where he was walking through Chicago and stuff, and there was a lot of heavy rain and like the game, heavy rain, and you can go into focus mode, and the raindrops would freeze, and they would go really slowly, right? And in the final console version, they weren't there.
Yeah.
So the PC version came out. People hacked into the code and found that there was a switch that was like E3 presentation mode, and it immediately became so much better. And you had all these particle effects on this kind of stuff. But what happened? The gameplay was crippled. Yeah. And it was not running smooth at all. This is the same thing that happened with Witcher 3. Okay. In the original trailers, you had really stacks of like foliage and just like it was so beautiful, like looking back and stuff. And the final game does not look like that. The PC version looks pretty much identical to the console version. Again, I know the pixels are much smoother, the textures are much cleaner and stuff, but it's not that big of a difference. I already would have given The Witcher 3 the design probably like a 4. It was beautiful. The biggest thing for me was that the character models were really ugly, and the hair design would look like mops. That was really ugly, but the character design and the environment design was beautiful. So we're gonna 4 out of 5.
Especially like the sun and stuff, like how it worked.
The horizon really stuff, good. Absolutely, it was amazing. But on the PC version, it looks identical. I mean, again, minus the textures, everything is much more smoother, much cleaner, a little bit, I guess, runs a little bit better, sure. But the trailer does not look like the trailer. And this was the final PC version, so I encourage you, look on YouTube, the PC version of The Witcher compared to the trailers, it looks exactly very, very different, okay? So, again, my reasoning with this is just that it bothers me that people believe that the consoles are holding back the PC, because that's not the case. The PCs are not able to run those trailers that they show. Why? These trailers that they show you guys are polished to heck.
Yeah, okay. Which sucks because it is false advertisement. Yeah. Like, not to be in this whole political thing, but it is truly false advertisement. Like, we're gonna make this thing super nice, but it's not really like that.
It's very simple as this, right? Let's say even if you're making a movie, okay, you're making a game, or let's just keep it games for now, right? So you have this city, and it's just empty city, right? For the trailer, they may add on the city posters. Yep. Okay. Here's posters. Let's say wanted posters. Here's wanted posters. When the game comes out, or sorry, during that trailer, they don't have the entire world yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know how much memory and how much capacity they're at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be, let's say they're at 101% now. In order to take away that 1% that they need to fit the game, they may have to take off those posters.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's my thing. You know, it's just like, I don't know why people, PC gamers, believe that the console holding the back when it's obviously not true. It's very simple math. You know, just in order to make the game function, you're gonna have to take away. Let's take away that tree over there. So the trailer you're getting is a vertical slice, right? There's literally a director telling you, no, add some posters, add some foliage. Well, that may not be in the final game. It's okay. This trailer has to look good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even as a film director and stuff, you know, right?
Yeah.
The trailer may be like really polished as heck, but the overall concept, you may have to cut stuff. And things, what happened in Spider-Man, what happened in Avengers, right? It's the same kind of thing.
So this is a tough question now. It's like, do you think that then, because of this, do you think that they should not show anything until the game is finished?
That is the solution to our problems. It's, for instance, The Division just got delayed, right? I don't want to see any more Division, because now, what's my worry? Division is probably not going to look exactly like the trailer.
Yep.
Okay? And people, I guarantee you that will be the next game that people do these comparisons for. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that will be the next game that people complain about. I'd rather not see any more trailers and stuff. We probably will at E3. Probably for sure. We'll probably see some Division there. But do not expect, from now on, these trailers will look like the finished product.
Yeah, I guess especially like the first ones and first teasers.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not that person. I'm the type of person who will be 100% done before I release something. Like, I'm currently writing a novel, and I'm writing a trilogy, and I don't want to publish the first one until I'm done with all three. See, I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, so...
Yeah, and I'm not saying that there should never be trailers and stuff. No, I like a proof of concept. But Witcher, look, I don't know if people are complaining. The trailer looks stunning, yeah, but the game looks gorgeous still. That tree in the corner does not make it a 5 to 4. So I don't know why people are complaining. You're not going to miss that tree. It looks much better in the trailer, I will admit. But I wasn't like, this game needs more trees. No, there's like a million trees in the game already. I don't know if people were complaining. So, yeah, that's my point. I mean, again, I think trailers work and stuff, but just realize that even running on a PC and stuff doesn't mean when they say like this is a cinematic trailer and stuff, they might have 4 PCs hooked up just to run that one trailer. The finished game is much smaller than that actual trailer and stuff. So, yeah. So again, I think the key here is just like they have to really minimize how much trailers, how much gameplay they're releasing and stuff. For instance, Assassin's Creed, I mean, they already showed a lot, but you know, it could look better, could look worse, you know. Yeah. So that was our whole kind of not really a rant. It was just more to enlighten you guys. I actually think this is the perfect video to show PC gamers and console gamers. Maybe this will get 2 views, I don't know. But this is actually a perfect video that really breaks down what happens behind the scenes with this kind of stuff. When we're reviewing games, we're looking at everything. We're looking at the UI, we're looking at the color of your menu and stuff. We're looking at all these kind of things.
And most importantly, we're looking at the fun level.
Yeah.
This is a game. This is something that you're going to spend your time on and actually play over and over again. Is this fun? Yeah,
so again, like I said, don't have any wars and that kind of stuff. Again, this may get 2 views, who knows, but if you see this, don't have wars with people because you can't really compare. I will say that for the most part, PC and consoles are going to be the same level for a while. Mm-hmm. Are PCs capable of becoming more powerful? Yes. But they're not creating a game for the biggest PC. They're creating a game that kind of works on all platforms.
Yeah, and there's always that person who actually spent that extra money, that extra time making this better PC. There's even some people who actually open up their Xbox One and make it better themselves. Yeah. So it's just like, it's all about, what you have. And not everybody, you can't say that PC is the best one only because you spend so much money making this awesome PC. It's just your PC is the best one, so you win. Yeah. I don't think The Witcher 3 is going to be like the best on PC. I just think that this is a game that's suited for PC, just from a gameplay aspect and stuff. So yeah, so that's what I think. So that's my opinion, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure for a lot of this kind of public service announcement. These BSAs, these research, this kind of stuff. We'll try to do more of these deep thoughts. This is really what I envisioned for deep thoughts in the beginning. So I was really happy with this video, guys. So thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for much more of this content on Good Bad Dudley.